Hey guys, what is up? Welcome. How are you? I hope you guys are having an amazing day. For today's video, I wanted to share with you guys a Ofra liquid lipstick swatch video. Yes, Ofra has, I want to say over 75 liquid lipsticks. I want to say 77 in total. And today I'm going to share with you guys how they look on my lips. So we have shades from like every single nude you can imagine, reds, burgundies, browns, pinks, mauve tone shades. So seriously, everything under the sun. This video is in partnership with Ofra Cosmetics, so thank you so much to Ofra for working with me on this video. So for today only, Ofra is actually having their liquid lipsticks on sale for $11, which I think is amazing. Normally they're 20 bucks, which I still think is, I think it's priced pretty well because of how amazing they are. But yeah, for today only, they're $11. And in addition to that, buses and trucks. In addition to that, you could use my code, it's just Liora, and that'll get you 20% off the already reduced price tag of the liquid lipsticks. You can use my code in general on Ofra's website, not only when there's a sale, but if there's a sale, you can always use my code on top of that, and it comes out to be even more cheaper. So before we get started with the lip swatches, I want to just give you guys a little bit of information in regards to the Ofra liquid lipsticks, like the quality. I actually really enjoyed Ofra liquid lipsticks even before I actually had a code with them and all of that. I think that the quality of their liquid lipsticks are just really comfortable for a liquid lipstick. They have amazing staying power. They have a mousse-like texture, which makes them really comfortable to wear. They're very long wearing. They're really solid liquid lipsticks to mix and match with. You can do amazing ombre lips with these. They're great to wear on their own. I would say overall 10 out of 10, and they definitely are like my preferred liquid lipstick to wear to the most part. All right, now let's go ahead and get started with the swatches. I hope you guys enjoy this. First up, we have the shade Revive. This right here is a pale neutral with peachy pinky undertones. Next up, we have the shade Angels. This right here is a cool pale pink with a hint of a sheen to it. So it's slightly more on the sheerer side. Okay, this one right here is in Nude Potion. This was actually created by Nikki Tutorials. And this one right here is a light neutral nude pink. One of my favorites ever to wear on its own and to mix with. Next up, we have this shade right here in Aries. Love this color. It's a peachy pinky nude, and it was created by Manny MUA. This right here is in Sao Paulo, I think that's how you pronounce it, and it is a neutral peachy nude. Love. This one right here is in the shade Rio. It's a peachy, almost popsicle-y orangey nude. Such a stunning shade. Ooh, this one right here is so perfect for this time of the year. This one is called Los Alos, I want to say. I think that's how you pronounce it, and this one right here is described as an amber brown nude. Love. Next up, we have this shade right here in Pasadena, and this one right here is described as a mauve pinky brown tone shade. Next up, we have this gorgeous shade right here in Aspen, and this one right here is described as a cool mauve nude pink. Next, we have this shade right here in Sedona, and this right here is a warm nude brown. It's kind of like a cinnamony kind of color. Next up, we have this shade right here in Americano, and this right here is described as a dark sienna shade with a hint of sheen to it. Very pretty for this time. I love it. This right here is in the shade Baroque, and it is a pinky nude with gold reflex. This shade was actually created by Francesca Tola. Next up, we have this shade right here in Story. I love this. It was created by Samantha March. I think she did amazing with this one. And this right here is described as a mocha nude mauve. This one right here is in Laguna Beach. I am down to go there right now. It's described as a nude strawberry pinky color. Next up, we have this shade right here in Refine. This is actually the shade that I was wearing in the intro of this video. I love this, and anytime I wear this shade, you guys compliment me to no end. It's one of my favorites. It's just solid color. This right here is a neutral mocha nude with mauve undertones to it, and you could see that like nice mauviness to it, but it's not too mauve, you know? It's perfect. Next up, we have this shade right here in Bal Harbour, and this right here is a mauve nude brown. It's such a pretty color as well, right? This one right here is called Duchess. It was actually created by Nikki Tutorials. It's basically like a mauve nude with cooler undertones. Next up, we have this shade right here in Sanibel, and this is an absolutely stunning rose nude color. So it's not like a regular nude, it has a slight rosiness to it. 10 out of 10. The next baby that we have up is Mocha. This right here is described as a mauve nude with a slight hint of red in there as well, and I can totally see that. Very unique. This one right here is in the shade Charmed, also in that like mauve nudish kind of family, and this right here was created by Manny MUA. Okay, next up we have this shade right here in Staten Island. Really enjoyed this color. It's pretty different. It's like a cementy, grayish nude kind of shade, definitely more on the cooler tone side. Very unique. Next up we have this shade right here in It's My Ray Ray. This right here was created by Madison Miller. And this one right here is described as a neutral mauve pink. So cute. Next up, we have this shade right here in Manila. I think that's how you pronounce it. And this one right here is just like your go-to classic neutral nude. Next up, we have the shade Verona. Beautiful. This right here is described as a mocha nude brown. Next up, we have this shade right here in Bel Air. It always reminds me of like the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. This one right here is a warm nude with a little hint of peach to it. Next up, we have the shade Dubai. Love that name. It's one of my dream destinations. And this right here is described as a sandstone nude. Definitely more like a cooler nude. This one right here is in the shade Atlantis. I actually really enjoy this one. It's a little bit different than what I typically wear, but I love it. This one right here is a peachy pinky color. It does have like a little bit of a duochrome-ness to it. Also, it is a metallic finish. Next up, we have this shade right here in Versailles. So slightly different than the previous shade. This one right here is more of like a goldeny peachy color. Next up, we have this shade right here in Kosas Island. And this one right here is a beautiful, vibrant salmon color. Next up, we have this shade right here in Tuscany. I really don't wear such colors too often, but I know you guys are gonna be like, Liora, I love it on you. This one right here is more of like a muted mauve with a little bit of like a redder undertone to it. You guys are gonna love it, right? Next up, we have the shade Unzipped. Absolutely beautiful. This right here is a gorgeous, universally flattering mauve berry shade. Next up, we have the shade Miami Fever. This one right here was created by Kathleen Lights, and this one right here is more of a terracotta burnt orange color. Here we have the shade Palo Alto. Hopefully I'm not butchering that name. And this right here is described as a brick red orange. Perfect description, let me tell you. Here we have the shade Solano, and this right here is a warm bronze metallic liquid lipstick. So not their matte, but it's a metallic liquid lip. Next up, we have the shade Havana Nights, and this one right here is described as a brick red. It was actually also created by Kathleen Lights. How yummy this Hypno look. This is gorgeous. This right here was created by Manny MUA, and this is a mauve toned red liquid lip. Next up, we have this shade in Amsterdam. This one right here is described as a cool toned mauve liquid lipstick. Amsterdam also is one of my dream destinations. I mean, everywhere really is. Next up, we have the shade Portland, and this one right here is a cool mocha brown. Then we have this shade right here in Reimagine. This was in collaboration with Jen Love's Reviews. And this one right here is more of like a neutral mocha brown. Not too warm and not too cool either. Just like right in the middle there. Next up, we have this babe right here in Brooklyn. You guys know how I feel about this liquid lipstick. One of my favorites. Brooklyn is always home. This one right here is a chocolatey deep brown. Love. Next, we have the shade Harlem, one of my favorites as well. This is beautiful. It's a vampy burgundy color. It's pretty similar to Brooklyn, but it has more of like a berry undertone to it as opposed to like chocolatey brown. But this is life. I love. Next up, we have the shade Panama. This right here, I know it's not going to be every single person's cup of tea, but it's a really bright, cool toned pink color. I used to wear these like non-stop back in the day. I still kind of like them from time to time, you know? Next up, we have this shade right here in Spell. This right here was in collaboration with Nikki Tutorials. It's a beautiful, I would say true orange color, and it is a metallic finish. Next, we have this shade right here in Monaco. This one right here is more of like an icy cool pink, and it is a metallic finish. Okay, next we have the shade Honolulu. This one right here is a like plumish maroon kind of color with a little bit of like a sheen to it. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily a matte liquid lipstick, but it's not necessarily a metallic either. Maybe like kind of in between both of those. This right here is so beautiful. I would say going into like the holiday season. It's in the shade Milan, and it is a cranberry red. Love. Next up, we have this shade right here in Ruby. This right here was created by Francesca Tola, and this is a wine berry color. Next up, we have this shade right here in Mina. I would say it's similar to the previous shade, but maybe it has a little bit more depth to it. It's like a vampy berry color. This one right here is in Manhattan. You know, I truly represent. And it is described as a purple mauve color. I love this. It's so pretty. Next up, we have this shade right here in Queens. Most of my relatives live there. I feel like I'm there occasionally, but yes, I don't know. I don't love Queens, but I don't actually hate it. Brooklyn's my fave. But yeah, this right here is a beautiful eggplant purple color. It's a stunning shade. It's hot. I actually really enjoy this one a lot too. This one right here is in Saint Tropez. It's like a bubbly, bubblegum, pinky, purpley, lilac-y color. It's cute. It's cute. It's cute from time to time. You know what I'm saying? Next, we have the shade Santa Ana, or Santa Ana, and this one right here is described as a rosy red. Next, we have this beautiful red shade in Atlantic City. This one right here is described as a bright red with a cool undertone. This is goals. Love. Then we have this shade right here in Brickle, and this right here is described as an absolute true red. I put the word absolute, but it's described as a true red. Yummy. And next up, we have this one right here in Malibu. This is a beautiful fuchsia color. Obsessed. Next up, we have this shade right here in Plummus, and this one is described as a dark pink with a metallic finish, so it's not a matte. Next up, we have the shade Las Vegas. Absolutely love this one. It's such a beautiful, like, bright lilac color. But next up, we have this shade in Hollywood, and this one right here is a flamingo pink color. Santorini is a beautiful berry toned pinky color, and this one right here is a metallic finish. Next, we have the shade Santa Monica. A few of you guys told me it's Santa Monica, but I don't know why I just keep saying Santa Monica. But yeah, this one right here is a beautiful hot pink. Next up, we have this shade in Cape Town, and this one right here is described as a light plum color. So not too deep, but not too light either. I think this is perfect. Next, we have this shade in Cancun, and this one is simply described as a magenta. Next, we have this stunning shade in Wonderland. I don't have anything like this for the lips. I have something similar like this for the eyes, but nothing like this for the lips. It's beautiful. It's like a duochrome pinky purple color, and it does have more of like a metallic finish to it. This is so pretty. This one right here is in Venice, and this is a vibrant reddish orangey tone shade. Next, we have this shade in Rendezvous. I love that name, Rendezvous. This is a watermelon red color. Next, we have this shade right here in Daytona Beach. I think that's located in Florida, right? This one right here is a neon peachy color. This one right here is in New Orleans, and this is a deep magenta purple color. I love this one. This one is called Surfer's Paradise, and this is a bright red with a little bit of a sheen to it. So it's not necessarily matte completely, but it's not metallic either, just kind of like in the middle there. This one right here is Sunset Beach, and this one right here is described as a bright coral. This one right here is in Vermilion. It's a vibrant red. It has a slight corally undertone to it, and this one right here was in collaboration with Francesca Tola. Next up, we have this shade in Ultimate Red. This is one of my favorite reds from Ofra. I'm obsessed. It's basically like a true red with a hint of like an orange undertone to it, you know, but I think this is stunning. I think it would look good on every soul. Any of these would really, but especially this. Next, we have this shade right here in Coven. This is a metallic neutral brown, and this one right here was in a collaboration with Nikki Tutorials. This one right here is in Emerald City. I'll have to read what it says about this one because there's a lot. It's a triple chrome that reflects green, gold, and red pigments with a metallic finish. I think this one is really cool. I have shades like this for the eyes, but nothing like this for the lips. Very, very unique. Next up, we have Napa Valley Love. This right here is just a plum with a metallic finish. It's stunning. Really, really very nice. I love it. Next up, we have the shade Bordeaux. This one right here is a true deep burgundy wine color. Obsessed with like a simple eye in this. Yum. Okay, and then the final shade that we have up is this one right here in Bronx, and another borough. Yes. This one right here is a beautiful true black. I will say that for a black, it's very, very nice. You probably have to build it up twice to get full like pigmentation, but I really, really like this one. Alright, so that is pretty much it. That concludes the video. I hope you guys found this video helpful. I hope you found it enjoyable. Don't forget you could use my code Liora for 20% off. I'm gonna relax my lips at the moment because we just watched like 77, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to reading your comments down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!